I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jen.
And we are the Sacred Text, a Star Wars podcast.
We're discussing all kinds of print media from a galaxy far, far away, reviewing canon comics and books, and talking to authors, artists, and other Star Wars nerds.
So strap yourselves in as we make the jump to light speed. Punch it, Jen. Great. Hello. We can just go ahead and get started with our episode.
We're so used to doing non-recorded intros, but for the sake of our sanity, we were like, let's do a recorded intro. And we're just going to have to get used to jumping right in without being like,
you did a great job with the intro. It's so cool. I love it.
Thank you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know. But otherwise, we're just going to get into it. I'm excited. This is our first full-length episode of the Sacred Text.
Me too. I'm so excited. Yay.
I'm pretty pumped. Yeah, this has been a long time in the making, so I think we're both just so ready to go with this. But
so
yeah, I think, was there anything you wanted to talk about before we get into it?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about the two big Star Wars news? It might take up a lot of time. And I think there is some comic news that ties into one of the big Star Wars news that we could talk about.
Yes, let's do that one. I think everyone else has talked about the other one, I'm assuming you're referencing,
yes.
1 million times. And I don't know if anyone else needs to hear an opinion. So.
They might want to hear our opinions. But for time sake, and we don't want to ramble, whatever.
Yes.
For
our opinions, I think,
hour.
Could be an entire episode.
They really could, 100%. We list out all the reasons why it's not
all our
just
complicated feelings.
Yeah, that exactly.
Yeah. So what do you have?
So I'm sure everyone is aware that Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge is getting a change in theme. They're basically taking the sequels era, I believe it was in between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and they're taking that timeline and they're moving it 30 years-ish to be after the Return of the Jedi. So Galaxy's Edge is going to be 30 years younger, and there are significant changes within that section of the park. It's going to be all Empire versus the First Order. Darth Vader is going to be wandering around instead of Kylo Ren. There's going to be Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie over at the Falcon, and right before Smuggler's Run. And so significant changes, including Oga's Cantina is going to get a huge overhaul. That place is closed for the next 3 months or so.
Oh my gosh.
Which I personally am super sad about. But the cool thing, and it seems like they have tied in all of these changes with a comic book series. So there is a new 5-issue comic series that's titled Galaxy's Edge, Echoes of the Empire. It's the first issue is going to release April 22nd, which is just days before the new Galaxy's Edge is going to be open for the public. Ethan Sachs is the author, and the artists are Jethro Morales and Roy Mercado. So I'm really curious to see what the changes are in the comics to help explain what changes are happening within Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge Batuu itself. So I've always wanted changes. I feel like that part of Batuu really needs it. I mean, if this is a thing, if like every 5 years or so we're going to get a new era, I'd be completely okay with that. What I don't want is like I love the sequels, and I know a lot of people have complained about how Batuu is all sequel heavy, and I've like even had arguments with security who says that like Rey should not be here and she's cursed Disneyland, etc., etc.
Oh my god.
And so to hear that like she's being like pushed off to the side for original trilogies. And I love original trilogy. That's not what I'm saying. But
It's yeah.
I think I'd be more okay with this decision if it is a rotating theme.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like not a negative thing. It's more the way that people react to it and the things people pull from it and the discourse that happens around it can be really frustrating.
Totally.
And it kind of feeds a lot into some of the more toxic side of the fandom. So that's the part that gets tough is it's like, it doesn't have to be, oh, Disney is shoving the sequels to the side because everyone hates them and we're going back to what the real fans want. And that's kind of some of the dialogue that's happening. And I'm like, or it's like every theme park that's ever existed that wants to refresh things every couple of years, which makes sense. I mean, so it's hard to enjoy Star Wars news sometimes when it also gets tied into that kind of stuff. So I get it. It's complicated. Hopefully all these renovations and stuff will be great. I'm sure people would be excited if Oga's got some new things and
Maybe we get to see Oga herself sitting in a corner, kind of like how we do at Doc Ondars. I'd be okay with that.
That would be amazing. They could probably use some store refreshes and like,
Sure.
So hopefully some good stuff is coming, but it's a lot to process.
Fingers crossed. I know it really is.
It's been a weird week and stuff.
It truly has. All my emotions have been like,
100%. Yeah. But I mean, this is a good time to remind everyone, and we solemnly swear, and you can call us out if we ever do it, that we are never, ever going to post clickbait news.
Oh, no.
That has not been verified. And we are certainly, even if it is verified, we are never going to create one of those videos that is like, Kathleen Kennedy knocked out of the way for Dave Filoni, the real story. Like we're never, ever going to do that. So we're going to do our best to just give you, this is what's actually happening. This is what's verified, not clickbaity stuff. So
yeah, this is how I feel about it. I understand if you feel otherwise. It's okay. We all are entitled to our feelings.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
Do you have any other news or anything you want to talk about?
I did have one thing. I'm going to try and make this quick. We had a friend send us a wonderful message of support and just general goodness, which everybody's been really nice and supportive and wonderful. And we appreciate all of you. But in particular, I wanted to point out this message. She sent us a poem and it's titled Invictus. And for everyone familiar with the High Republic, there's a ship named Invictus, which has seen many important moments. And so she was like, I knew that name sounded familiar and I remembered this poem existed and I wanted to send it to you guys. And she sent the poem along with her lovely message of support and, not to bring like the mood down, but things have been a little hard in the real world lately, especially if you live in the United States for the past 300 years or so, but it's been like really, really dark lately. And this poem she sent us was it's very much a message of how important it is to stay strong when you really don't feel like it. And this ties so well into both real life and what's happening and into the High Republic. And I thought that was wonderful. I won't read the poem because I don't need to be talking that long, but I wanted to tell everybody what it was and where you can find it so you can go read it. It's called Invictus by William Ernest Henley. It's a wonderful poem. And if you need a little bit of encouragement right now, it's a pretty good one to remind you to stay strong. So yeah, thank you for the message, Carrie. We very much appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna word vomit a couple other comic and book
news. Oh my god, I
love
your word vomit. Vomit on me.
I have The Art of the High Republic by Kristen Baver and Leslie Headland just came out. Super exciting. And then also coming out soon, probably by the time we release this episode, Star Wars Outlaws, Low Red Moon by Mike Chen will be out February 3rd, which is really exciting. Apparently that is a prequel to the video game Outlaws. Yeah, I just got that one, that video game from my sister for Christmas. So very exciting.
I love it. That's great. And Legacy of Vader has come to an end. Well,
yes, that's what I really
quote
wanted to talk about.
unquote.
I need to know. Yeah. Tell me your thoughts.
Oh, girl. I feel like the entire series was just like constant baiting and like setting up that Kylo obviously has some sort of weird ability with the Force. He made it to the netherworld. And the very end of the comic has a very Force ghost look to it.
Yes.
It was very obvious they were leaving that door wide open for Ben to come back and for it to make sense.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
I was so excited. That was such a great way to end that like that group. I don't. It's not even. Like, is it a mini series? I guess it's a mini series. Yeah. I was so excited, especially to see like a Jedi Ben Solo fighting Kylo Ren.
Girl.
He just looks so good. He looks so good. And
I was like, I knew you were in there.
I know, totally. And like the whole like concept of like you're gonna see this vision and you're not gonna know what it means, but you're gonna remember this moment at a time that's very important. And it's just like, love it.
So hopefully we're getting more Legacy of Vader.
I truly hope so too.
A lot of us are
so much fun
by a thread, and the thread is the hunt for Ben Solo. So no pressure. Yeah, so we're gonna get into what we're talking about today, which is High Republic Adventures. So I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know how this happened and how we forgot about these.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like forever ago we read issues 1 through 10 and then just left it there. And I guess we just okay, listen, the High Republic era just has so much stuff in it and so many comics and so many things, and it's so hard to keep up with sometimes, and in a good way. I'm glad there's a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, we both just completely forgot that there were 20 issues to this comic series.
Yep. At the same time, I'm so glad we read these comics when we did, because it could not have been more perfect. Because we literally just saw the Warden leave Iriadu and dispatches from the Occlusion Zone to go to Valo, and reading these High Republic Adventures comics starting with issue 11 was like the Warden coming to Valo was just so great.
Yeah, it actually ended up perfect, but we wanted to clear the air that we definitely forgot that these existed. So we thought, in retribution, and in order to apologize to the greater Star Wars universe, we should make this our first episode. Please. Forgive us. I'm excited about this, though. Obviously, we highly recommend, if you have not read issues 1 to 10 of High Republic Adventures Phase 3, you should probably go do that before you listen to this episode. I figured we might want to do a very fast. I wrote the most basic summary that's ever
nothing other than issue 11, Return to Valo. So
I will do this so quick, and it is really vague. Great. Let me know if I got anything wrong.
Okay.
A band of marauders, the Nihil, led by Warlord Marchion Ro, have taken over part of the galaxy, creating an occlusion zone that up until recently the Republic couldn't get into. And it was like a year plus that people have been trapped in this zone while the Nihil basically take over their planets. And some people that were trapped were Jedi as well. And for them, it's particularly dangerous, right? Because Marchion Ro has special force-eating pets called the Nameless that can easily kill Jedi. And the gang of people we've been following throughout this adventure series are kind of a combo of like Jedi, ex-Jedi, and rebels trying to take their planets back from the Nihil. And this leads us to 2 major planets that have been covered in this series, which are Valo and Iriadu. So that's your summary. If you want more details, you gotta go read issues 1 through 10. But I thought that would at least get us up to this point, hopefully.
Perfect. Well done.
Thank you. I wrote it right before this.
Smart. A summary was just perfectly needed because there's a lot going on and there's a lot of characters. I think we'll try our best to fill in the gaps and kind of do a little bit of back explanation to some of the characters. But honestly, I wish you all good luck. All right. With that, we're going to start with issue 11, titled Return to Valo. This is written by Daniel Jose Older, and the comics are all more or less illustrated by different artists. This one is by Chao Felipe, and the color art is by Michael Ataya. And then the letters are all done by the same individual for the next couple issues. So I'll only say it here, which is Comic Crafts, Tyler Smith, and Jimmy Betancourt. Do we want to say the scroll for each one?
Ooh, I say yes, right? Because those are actually pretty good.
They are.
Better summaries than what I just did.
No, it's more of like a summary.
For the issue.
Yeah, for the issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to say this one? All right, wonderful. Star Wars, The High Republic, uprising behind the storm wall, a glimmer of freedom within the occlusion zone, the heroic uprising led by Jedi Padawans Gavi and Ram Jamaram has liberated the planet Valo from the yoke of the Nihil. But Valo's independence must remain secret if it is to persist. Now Gavi and a group of freedom fighters known as the Scarlet Skulls work tirelessly to maintain the illusion that Valo is still occupied in order to avoid a crackdown by Marchion Ro. Nobody knows how long the deception will last. ...
Love. This is great.
It's so cute.
So yeah, we're in Lonisa City, Valo, with youngling, right? Gavi. I can never keep up with who's a youngling and who's a Padawan. Every single time I forget, but I think
They said Jedi Padawans, but I totally thought he was a youngling,
right? A member of the Jedi Order who is young, Gavi. There you go. Is closing out a transmission about like fighting for freedom, and this is when a comm comes in from Nihil Command. Being like, hey, what's going on? We'd love an update on how the Nihil are doing in Lonisa City.
Not only that, but also the warden is on his way to Valo. Whoops.
Oopsie. They're going to have to get it together really quick.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Oh, no.
And more so than the little cloak that he throws over his shoulders before the message comes through. Just like... What are you doing here?
I don't know how long they really thought this was going to be able to be pulled off for, but it was a nice attempt for a while, so I'll give it to him. But yeah, it's freak out time for Gavi.
Totally. Well, we move over to the Grim Devourer too, which is super exciting. Ram is on this ship and he's meditating as he is listening to the transmissions from Gavi. However, the transmission is much different than the one that we just listened to. And Gavi is like subtly at first trying to input that he needs help. Like, remember that time on Valo when we all kind of like hung out and did some cool missions?
Would be great if we did it again. And it just keeps getting like more panicked. This entire scene unfolds. Gavi's just in the background like, it would be so great if I had my friends with me to help me with things that are good. Like, it's just so good.
So good. And you can see Ram is picking up on
oh yeah, he's feeling the Force vibes.
Yeah, which is impressive, right? Because we've talked about how Ram doesn't catch most social cues, so
no.
The fact that he understands what's happening is very impressive. But unfortunately, he's not able to address Gavi's message right away because none other than Therm Scissor Punch bursts into the room and says, "Oh my God, Nihil are coming," and they have to go because apparently their hyperdrive is broken and needs fixing.
Yeah, that's what he was supposed to be fixing while he was meditating. He's got like parts of it all around him that he's been working on.
I didn't realize that was the hyperdrive. I thought they were just like, that's how he meditates.
In fairness,
it's just like he finds random parts and just flings them around him.
That is pretty Ram coded though, because he is very into tinkering, like his whole thing. And so being surrounded by random parts while meditating is not weird. he wouldn't need a reason to do that, but I think he's supposed to be fixing this hyperdrive, and now they really need it. They really need it to be fixed. Right? Also, for a reminder, because everyone needs to know about Therm's scissor punch. Yeah, it's a sentient crustacean. And that's really, I think that's all you need to know about him, really. Everything else is just aura. So
I agree.
Yeah. Therm
state. Love it. They all run into the cockpit where Dern and Zyle are trying to keep the Nihil from boarding, but Ram quickly dives in and fixes the hyperdrive. It seems to me like by the panel, it seems like all he has to do is connect two wires together, and that's all it takes.
That's what it looks like. I'm assuming that one of those points is what he was fixing while he was meditating, and then he like grabs it, because otherwise it's like, guys, any of you could have done that. Any of you could have put those two wires together. I say that. I've definitely had to like Google search, how do I connect these wires together before. I haven't died. So
good.
It's worked out fine. Well, obviously, too, the Nihil are calling them to be like, yo, what are your credentials? Because this is an occupied space, right? So people aren't just supposed to be pleasure flying through this area. And they don't have an answer. And it's fine, because Ram fixes the hyperdrive and they can just like hyperdrive out of there, and it's okay. It at least gives them enough time to figure out what they're gonna do before the Nihil can catch up.
Yeah, it's perfect. And Ram creates a plan to head to Iriadu to pick up some friends before helping Gavi on Valo.
Yep. And that's the reason they really don't want to get caught too, is because they had just picked up a bunch of weapons.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and the point of all of these is they're going to go drop those to Iriadu, which is one of those planets we mentioned along with Valo that's having issues with the Nihil. And so they need to supply them with these things. And imagine if the Nihil just came on board and were like, what is this? But yeah, they can't just immediately go to Valo. They do have to drop this stuff off. But Ram knows we need to get to Valo ASAP. Let's drop things off, pick up some help, and go see what's going on.
Anyways, in the next set of panels, we are in Lanisa City on Valo. Gavi and the Scarlet Skulls are discussing how to handle the Nihil and keep people safe. And like the Scarlet Skulls are all talking over one another, and there's like chaos. And I guess one is obsessed with bombing things, and they're all like, "Stop talking about bombs."
We told you no explosives.
Yeah.
Well, of course, all of this talk, right, leads to Gavi thinking about his ex-best friend. Yeah,
that was sad.
It is sad. That's Drigget, who was a ex-best friend turned Nihil ? We're still not sure about what.
And she's got going on. Couple of issues, she seems very Nihil-like.
Yeah, she does. But then other times we see that it's like, are you? Yeah. I don't know. So we're not sure about her. She joined the Nihil supposedly because she felt she had to in order to protect her home and her parents in particular. And so we don't really know where this character arc is going yet, but it did cause a huge divide between her and Gavi.
Understandably. Yeah, Gavi is overwhelmed. But things only get worse because then they get notice that the ward is not only here on Valo, but he is about to enter the room that they're in.
They're just here.
What? How did this happen? Whoops. How did no one notice? I think it just goes to show how there's literally no resistance other than the Scarlet Skulls and Gavi, and that's it.
Okay, but question: how did Master Kunpar not sense
he is
them
useless coming? He is so useless. Don't even get me started on him.
You had one job.
Yes. The only thing he does is like
he hovers,
helps, and says like, the Force. I don't know.
He literally drops some Force wisdom, and it's like, what if you used that to sense people coming so that we weren't just surprised?
Master Kunpar is definitely the old Jedi who should be retired but isn't retired.
Oh my god, Should have retired 10 years ago. Now just doesn't care. Yeah. That's solid. So right. Over on you're good. Over on Iriadu, Ram has met up with his Jedi friends after they dropped off the weapon shipment. And he finds out a lot of information all at one time.
It's so cute.
It's very cute. It's been a minute since these groups have seen each other, I guess. And not only has one of them decided to leave the Jedi Order, it's also because she's getting married to her longtime love. So this is, of course, Lula Talasola, and she is getting married to Zine Marala.
Yeah.
And we were making jokes earlier about the wedding spectacular. This is the hard part with the High Republic, is sometimes there's one-shot comics, and it can be very hard to place where the one-shots go. And so we read the wedding spectacular before this episode, obviously.
A long time before this episode.
Yep. Whoops. And so we do know a few things that tie into the story that we shouldn't have known when we read it, but like it's all pretty mild stuff for the most part. Yeah. But
I agree.
Still a surprise for Ram. So, and even more important than that, there's an imminent Nihil attack happening on Iriadu. So the Jedi can't just leave and help Ram on Valo. That's not happening. But they are willing to spare a single Jedi, Farzala, who's going to go with him.
But on the condition that he and Ram have to return in time for their wedding.
Well, obviously they can't miss the wedding spectacular.
Oh gosh. Well, back on Valo, Gabby, who is the Lunisa City provisional governor, tells the warden how he's managing Valo and how his top lieutenants are the Scarlet Skulls and infiltrated the resistance to secretly maintain control over the people. There's a lot of back and forth between Gabby and the warden about what's happening. And that's when the Grim Devourer 2 reaches Valo. That's where Ram and now Farzala is. Essentially, Gabby's lying to the warden about how he's keeping control of Valo because he has to, right? And he's trying to convince the warden that he does not need any more Nihil support, and eventually is somehow able to convince the warden that he is the youngest Nihil tactical genius ever.
I love how much the warden is in love with him.
I do too. There's this one panel that I just am obsessed with where the warden's really angry and mad, and then he's also like, I love it.
Yeah. The only time we've ever seen like the face of glee on the warden before.
I know.
And he's looking at a Jedi, which just makes it even funnier up in space. Whenever I like when the Grim Devourer 2 comes in, they don't even bother trying to stall with the Nihil this time when they're asking for IDs. They're just like, we're pirates. We're keeping your economy afloat because you guys are terrible at being a government.
I know.
And I was like, wow.
Zyle is so great. I love them so much.
Oh, I know. Zyle cannot be bothered with this pretense anymore. They're just like, you guys are doing a terrible job. You're welcome for the cash flow that we have been providing. And we're going to be coming in now.
I know. The Nihil are like, prepare to be boarded. And Zyle is like, excuse me, we're pirates. We are going to be boarding you.
And, you know, sometimes the Jedi can be, depending on the era, obviously, they can be like, no, you know. And I love that instead Ram was like, oh, we're doing this? Okay, well, I guess we're doing this. We're going to board the Nihil ship. It's so good. They just go in with lightsabers drawn and guns blazing.
Yeah, at the same time, the Scarlet Skulls are also attacking the Nihil in Lunisa City, and there's just chaos everywhere. The Nihil are frantically trying to hold back both crazy pirates, Scarlet Skulls, and Jedi, and calming to the warden, who's getting all these messages as he's hanging out with Gabby.
Whoops.
And the last panel we see is the warden kind of like with his face silhouetted out. All you see is like red beady eyes, and his hand is like quivering in rage. Yeah.
Yes. It looks like the Arthur meme of the fist like clenched. It just cracks me up.
That's so good.
Because this is this kind of puts a damper on Gabby's entire lie. So. Whoops.
Whoopsies.
Well, that's the end of issue 11. What a fun issue. I loved that so much. I was very nervous for Gabby, but
I know, me too.
But yeah, that takes us into issue 12, Return to Valo Part 2. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't write the little, there's always like a tiny little title above the scroll for these, and I did not write that part. I just wrote the scroll. Do you have that?
Uprising behind the storm wall.
Lanisa City in chaos. After the Nihil arrived on Valo, it wasn't long before they realized the place was out of their control. Now, the Warden's forces seek to reconquer Valo. The populace remains subdued, wary of yet another war. However, the Scarlet Skulls are fighting back with the help of Jedi Knights Farzala Tarabal, Padawan Ram Jamaram, and their fierce pirate crew. Whether this ragtag resistance can withstand the enemy's formidable army remains to be seen. Bum, 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 dot, dot, dot.
Yeah, the comic starts off with a beautiful set of panels where we kind of get a Ram POV as to why he loves Valo and Lanisa City so much, and how much it means to him, and why it's so important to fight so hard to protect it. I love it.
It's bittersweet because he's having to acknowledge how much has happened since the Nihil took over, and that there's kind of a fear that they might be able to take it back again. But it's mixed in with all these wonderful images of him growing up on Valo, basically. Totally. And it's so good.
It's like doing lightsaber, what is that called?
Drills or whatever.
Drills with Master Kunpar.
See, Master Kunpar used to do stuff.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, Ram and Zyle are fighting a group of Nihil, and unfortunately, Ram gets hit on the arm by a blaster fire. And I like that Zyle tries to patch Ram up, but they don't have time for that because all of a sudden, more Nihil are on the way, and they have to get out of there right away.
Oh, man. So, the Warden.
Oh my God, this guy.
I know. He's pretty mad. And now he has a weapon to Master Kunpar's throat because once again, Master Kunpar has failed to sense that something was going to happen before it happened. Like, come on, man. And the point of this is to force Gabby to make a broadcast, right? So
yes,
it works. I mean, Gabby's not going to let Master Kunpar get killed, so he is made to tell the people of Valo to surrender to the Nihil. That's the whole point, is the Warden wants him to go on the broadcast and be like, you need to give up now, we're going to lose. And I felt so bad for Gabby in this moment.
I did too. It's a really terrible situation. But also, I think this is where I realized Master Kunpar is weird.
This? Just now?
Yes, because this whole time, what book was it? We've read about Master Kunpar, and they just like mentioned him. And so I'm just imagining kind of like this old sentient being. I don't know. I didn't have a visual to his face. And I saw him and was like, oh, he's kind of cute. And like, you see his like eyes and like some like little tendrils. I was like, oh, but that's got to be his mouth. But no, he's like growling up at the Warden, and his mouth is in the center of his tall forehead like a creep. And I hate it. But because of my freak out with Master Kunpar, I wanted to talk about really quickly what species he was. Yes. He's an Ongri, which is an amphibian sentient species. They have a toad head, a very large mouth in the center above 4 nostrils, 2 eye stalks on either side of their head below all of that. And then at the bottom is like the mouth with, or where am I? The gross fleshy tendrils on their chin. And it basically looks like an upside down face. And I just said big nope.
Absolutely not. Imagine eating out of your forehead.
I know. And then my brain kind of was like, what is the evolutionary purpose of having your mouth way up there? Well, especially like above your nostril. Because wouldn't you, if you like ate, it would just like get in your nose?
Well, but if they're amphibians, maybe they eat bugs. And so it makes sense for it to be as high up as possible so they can catch flying bugs.
Oh.
Right?
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking he ate in the ground upside down. Like put his head in the ground and like rummaged.
just like head face down in the dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly kind of love that too. It's weird either way.
I know it is.
Let's be for real, but that one's funnier. So I think we should go with that one.
Okay.
We after Gabby puts the broadcast on up in space, the gang is fighting off the Nihil or whatever, and I like that Therm Scissor Punch just decides he's kind of tired of this whole thing, and he runs into the crowd of Nihil snipping his claws and scares them enough to run them off.
They see that thing and they take off running. They're like, oh no, I hate him.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. It's so good. Yeah, I guess they round up the remaining Nihil on the ship and place them in the brig. This is another point where I was like, I had no idea the ship that they were on was the Starhopper, which is their old Jedi cruiser that they used to travel the galaxy in before all of the events with like Starlight Beacon and the hyperspace disaster. Like, this is basically their home.
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize that either. So up in space, they end up all hearing Gabby's broadcast, right? And they're like, oh no, obviously Ram knows this isn't right and that Gabby wouldn't make that broadcast unless he was under duress. So they decide they're going to send Therm and Dern, power couple, to the streets.
It really is.
To see kind of what's happening, while the rest go to Crash Point Tower to try and send out their own broadcast. They're going to try to be like, no, that's not correct. Please don't surrender.
I love this side quest with Therm and Dern. It's
so good.
So good. And like the disguise that they're all wearing and how Therm has like these gloves on, which fit except for the hand part. And there's like this little like
thing hanging. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I guess the duo make their way to the Jedi Temple, which is where the Nihil are stationed. And they quickly realize that the entire place is overrun with Nihil. There's way more Nihil there than anyone realized.
Whoops. And I guess Ram and the rest of the crew, they get to the tower and are confronted by Nihil ships. So at this point, Ram is like, I gotta get off the ship. I'm gonna go work on the broadcast, and the rest of the gang is gonna stay behind and fight the Nihil, right? And it's such an interesting moment because I feel like Crash Point Tower has a pretty big history, I guess, in the High Republic.
It does.
And we've been here before, and it's got a history for Ram, and I already know this is going to be a major kind of character moment for him.
I agree. It's interesting too because Crash Point Tower is overgrown with weeds and vines, and it goes to show how long the Nihil have taken over Valo. And it's all very sad. Ram quickly taps into the signal and tells the citizens of Valo to ignore that last transmission and how they should keep fighting until every person is free, until every planet is free, and then the entire galaxy is free as well. This is just a beautiful quote, and I loved your idea, Jen, to screenshot it and post it because it's such an important message.
It really is.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's very much the like, you're not alone, there's more of us message. Don't give up sort of thing, and I loved it.
I did too.
Yeah. Therm and Dern call Ram because they have overheard the warden is going to call for Nihil backup, and that's not good. Obviously, they do not want anyone else coming here.
They don't want more Nihil. They definitely don't want more nameless.
Yes, or nameless. Yeah. Absolutely. But the whole point in them calling Ram is because he's at the tower and they're hoping that he can try to intercept the message and keep it from going out. But he doesn't do that, right?
No. He has this like interesting moment where he sees what he needs to do, or he knows what he needs to do, and he is struggling to get to that point and actually commit to doing it. But he continues his transmission to the Valo citizens, telling them to become a light and how if they all work together, they will be strong enough to become a dawn. Fantastic words. I love it so much. And the last panel is Ram riding his droid V-18 away as Crash Point Tower explodes.
It's very sad, but very... It was just a push forward for the character. You just have to be able to let this thing go in order to keep going. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, needless to say, I don't think the transmission got through. And this time it's not because of the Nihil, it's because of the Jedi. So love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that was a lovely one. I just wrote woohoo at the end.
Especially as he's riding his droid down. You're like, that looks really fun. Like, wee.
I know that like last panel of him with the like explosion behind him. It's so good.
All right. So issue 13 is Return to Valo Part 3. So I guess it's my turn.
Oh, yeah.
This one also says Uprising Behind the Storm Wall. Surprise there. Padawan Ram Jamaram has blown up Crash Point Tower to prevent the Warden, a nefarious warlord, from sending out a call for more reinforcements. But before its destruction, he used the tower's radio antenna one last time to transmit a revolutionary call to action across Valo. Will the people heed his call and rise up against the enemy? Without a mass movement, Valo will fall to the Nihil, who have already captured Padawan Gavi and other resistance fighters. It's intense.
It is. I mean, the High Republic's pretty much always been intense, but we know we're building up to conflict on both Valo and Iriadu, and so it's just this constant sort of anxiety of what's coming.
Oh my god, I know. Yeah, we get Ram's POV narration little text box as he's now talking about Zyle, which I thought was super cute. Ram thinks that Zyle has the potential to become the greatest pirates in the galaxy, but they're still just a kid. So Ram contacted their mom to help make sure they are safe.
Oh, goodness. It's going to cause a problem, though, because we know from that past relationship that Zyle doesn't like being treated like a child, even though they're clearly a child. But then again, I get it, because they were kind of raised up in this like life of piracy. How are you going to raise a child in this life of piracy and then be like, JK, you should have a normal childhood and act like a kid?
Yeah, don't go off and do adventures. Don't go off on do missions. Yeah, exactly.
It's a little hypocritical, but yeah, when they whenever they're trying to escape from the outskirts of Lenisa City, they're hit by Nihil and have to land. And this is when another ship comes in to save the day. And of course, it's Zyle's mom.
I just love the little wave she gives them. See you there, kid.
You know Zyle is so mad right now. In the Jedi Temple, Gavi and Master Kunbar are tied up while the Warden finds out his message didn't go out. And since he has no emotional regulation skills, he's going to just destroy Lenisa City and launch a full attack on Iriadu today. And I was like, this sounds really familiar.
It's
not naming names, but
just the Nihil. Of course, though, Therm and Dern are on the balcony spying on this whole situation, and they're like, uh-oh. And they know they need to contact the others. However, Crash Point Tower's down, comms are down, so they know they can't. And I like that Dern, who really doesn't speak common very well, if at all, and just like says Gabby's name and like trudges off, and Thern's like, I guess we're gonna go find Gabby.
I love it. They're such an interesting duo.
They really are. Meanwhile, Zyle is pissed that their mom showed up. And now Zyle is arguing with her mom. And they're arguing back and forth about how she never lets them do anything on their own. And I like that Zyle's mom, whose name is Tanana, counters that she wouldn't need to come and save Zyle if they just checked in every once in a while, like she asked. So,
I mean, fair point.
It is. I'm sure Zyle could do all the fun adventures they wanted if Zyle just talked to their mom.
Yeah, you know, just a quick calm to be like, hey.
Once a month. Yeah. Hi, Mom. I'm alive. Bye.
I'm an outlaw, but I'm alive. So
yeah.
Everything's fine.
Exactly.
But this is where we find out, it's a good thing Xyle's mom is here, because a horde of Nihil come running for their ship. And Xyle's mom is like, oh, it's fine. I'm not worried about this because I brought backup. Who did she bring?
I know. I love that the ramp lowers and all of our favorites run down. And it's Maz Kanata, Sav Malagon, and Dexter Jetster, and Levelox Verzine. And it's actually Levelox for real this time, not
Yes, not the fake.
the fake. I was trying to remember who was the fake. It was Master Terasunube impersonating Levelox. That was fun.
I know. I was so excited to see this whole gang. It's great. The warden gets a little surprise, right? Because the warden is like, okay, I'm going to get to my ship. I'm going to go to Iriadu and mess things up. But they can't because they're told there's a huge resistance outside. And when he looks...
This was so cool.
It's so cool, right? It's like all of Lanisa City is there protesting the Nihil.
And they're all chanting "No more Nihil" over and over again.
Oh, yes! I love it.
Ram's message worked. That makes me so happy. Like, we go back with Ram and the others, and Xyle and Tanana are still arguing as everyone else is fighting. It's such like parent-child behavior. It's just so perfect.
It really is. It's like, guys, focus.
I did like in this moment too that you know, we've got people fighting Nihil, Xyle and Tanana arguing, and then there's one more person who's not doing their job fighting Nihil, and it's Farzala, who's hyper fixated on fixing the Starhopper. And that's important later because Farzala is struggling.
Yeah. But it's an important little glimpse into things coming up. So. Also, the warden, this man, he basically orders that the mob outside be blasted.
I know.
While he and a few Nihil go after. I know, just take a cannon and like blast the crowd.
Oh my God. So terrible.
And he knows that Gavi and Master Kunpar have been rescued. And so him and a few other Nihil are going to go after the Jedi. And this brings us to like everyone kind of coming back together, right? Because back with Ram and the crew, they end up being able to get away from the Nihil and fly towards Lanisa City. And they see that the Nihil are preparing to bomb basically this mob of people, right?
Yeah, everyone's freaking out except for Sav. Sav's like, I got this. And the next thing we know is like there are explosions happening everywhere around the Jedi Temple where the Nihil are based, including all of their weapons are being destroyed. It's so good.
Ram's just calmly like pew pew pew.
Yeah.
I knew this was a Jedi at one point.
Oh yeah. She's always been a Jedi pirate though.
It's true. Always been a pirate at heart.
Ram's so concerned. He's like, can you stop with the explosions on the temple? And she's just kind of like, well, maybe you should not allow so many Nihil into your temple.
I mean, fair point. She's just allowing them to have renovations in the future. So
that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Because no one's going to destroy those temples later.
Why would you say that?
Sorry. That's all I can think of.
Also, from the ship, they look and see Gavi, Master Kunpar, Therm, and Dern on the roof of the temple, surrounded by Nihil. So, obviously, what do? They jump off the ship to help them because that's just a normal thing. I know. My favorite was seeing Xyle and their mom are also, they're not Jedi. No. They're also just jumping off the ship onto a roof. And I was like, you know what? You can't be mad at your kid when this is the types of situations that you're doing with them.
Well, it's perfect timing because they literally wrapped up their argument. Xyle admitted that they're sorry and that they're going to work together. It's very cute.
It is very cute.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, it seems that even with the gang all together, they are still outnumbered and don't have anywhere to go. But that's when Maz Kanata shows up, and I had no idea she was not with the gang. I thought she was there the whole time, but apparently she was not. She
She's
brought
too
her
old to
ship.
be bothered to jump out of the ship.
That's fair. I get it. Yeah, she has her ship. She yells at everyone to jump in so that they can free Iriadu next. I was like, I love this.
This whole gang is going to head off and hopefully beat the warden there.
But one Jedi is really struggling to leave a certain star hopper behind. Poor Farzala is like, it's my home. And I like that Zyle is the one to convince Farzala to live another day so that they can eventually one day go back and get the Star Hopper.
Oh, what a great issue.
I know. It's so good.
And that takes us to number 14, which is The Jedi and the Warden Part 1. I just didn't write any of the fun little titles for the scrolls. If you don't mind saying the title for the scroll, then I can go on with the scroll.
Sure. So this one, there is a new illustrator. That is Harvey Talabau. And then it says The Battle of Iriadu.
Next time I won't leave it out.
Yeah.
Bless. The Battle of Iriadu has begun. The Nihil, commanded by the Warden, savagely bombard Iriadu City and Briefrang City from the land, air, and sea, inflicting devastation on the planet's scattered forces. Fortunately, Lula Talasola and Zine Mrala have just joined the fray, mere moments after their marriage at the Arco Ryo Cantina. These young freedom fighters have led their rambunctious wedding party into battle. But whether these brave revolutionaries can change the tide of the war against such a ruthless enemy remains to be seen. So here it is. We finally know exactly where we should have read The Wedding Spectacular.
Yes. In between issue 13 and 14.
How could we have possibly known that?
Read The Wedding Spectacular. It's important. Because I think it's the Wedding Spectacular where we find out that the Tarkins are siding with the Republic and the Jedi, right?
Yeah, so it's a big deal for this part of the story because I mean Iriadu I guess has what is it like 5 important ruling families, something like that.
The quintet, I think.
Yes, yeah. And the Tarkins are a big one.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of wishy-washy on what side they're going to pick. And so they just weren't sure. And in The Wedding Spectacular, we find out it's like, no, they're going to side with the Republics and help fight against the Nihil. And not only that, but there's a ton of people here, thankfully, that were here for the wedding who can now help with the battle.
It's, I think these next 2 issues were really intense for me.
Yep.
A lot happens, and it's crazy to think that like we still, because there's like 20 issues in Adventures, that like this is the battle and it's already starting like so so far from the end. It's really interesting how this was written out. But this comic starts out very cute. I loved it. It's a old flashback with Farzala and his Jedi master Abratuk. Abratuk is teaching Farzala how to knife dance, which is so unique to the Jedi. I love it. And I can't remember what species Abratuk is, but he's the one with like, he looks like an octopus really. He's got many arms. And he's got all his knives and he's just kind of like dancing. And he tells Farzala that he must learn how to dance in the calm so that he will have muscle memory of dancing so that when there's the storms and like all this crazy things happening, he knows how to dance through the storms as well and knows how to dance with the flow of the force as opposed to becoming a boulder. I love it, but I also think Farzala has not learned this.
The lessons never end, Rachel.
No, I think he's a big boulder right now.
Yeah, very much frozen in place. I mean, I don't blame him because in the present, the battle has started, right? It's this big moment, and Farzala is just kind of frozen there wishing his master was here. And we see panels of the battle, and it's it's supposed to be displayed as worse than any of us could have imagined, right? And worse than any of them imagined. It's just, you can always think you know what it's going to look like, and it's always going to be worse. And I mean, this is the complete takeover and destruction of half of a planet.
The panels, the artwork in this issue are just so incredible. The level of detail, like so much is going on. You really have to spend a lot of time looking at each panel to really like soak it in. And it's like so detailed to the point where it's like almost overwhelming because like so much is happening. Your eyes are like, what do I focus on first? And
I don't understand how you draw some of these images that are just so intricate without absolutely losing your marbles.
Yeah. I don't know either, but I truly appreciate it. It
Yes,
really
it's
adds
beautiful
to the whole story.
Yeah, it does. Oh, man. We get an interesting flashback, don't we?
Oh, I love this flashback. It was so great.
Tell us about it.
So we get a flashback with General Vise. She's much younger, and she's talking to someone who looks an awful lot like the warden, who we thought was the first name, the middle name War, last name Den. I think that's how they did it. Because that is all he's been referred to. But this individual is named Herwint Tix.
Okay, that's in fairness, I can see why you changed the name. Herwin? It's not the best.
No. It's a pretty awful story. I guess Herwint is the sole survivor from his squad, and he claims that the reason why he's the sole survivor is because his squad had bad leadership, and so he had to basically take that leader out. And did he kill the rest of his squad?
I feel like he did.
I feel like kind of the vibe I got. Yeah. Oh my God. And he's like, and then I was able to finish the mission. And General Vise, being the person she is, she's like, this is great. I love this.
That's kind of what gave me the impression he killed everyone, because I was like, that's about the only thing that would make Vise be like, you're promoted. She loves killing people. So I can see her being like, yeah, I like that vibe. It's good.
Yep. So yeah, Vise offers him a spot on her team of mercenaries, and she does kind of warn him. I don't know what the point is of the warning, other than maybe she doesn't want him to be a disappointment on her part. So she tells him that he must rise the ranks, wipe out anyone who gets in his way, or else he himself will die. What a way to live.
Yeah, I know. I mean, now we can see why he is who he is now. And it takes us back to the present of him watching this battle raging on in Iriadu. I know, it's crazy.
It's so crazy. Yeah, I did like that we get the warden's narrative, like, text box POV.
Yeah.
And we find out that, like, he claims that day he met General Vise brought him to the Nile, and how it brought him glory, but then disgrace, and how he's now here trying to redeem himself. And you kind of understand his perspective a little bit about why he is the way he is, and why he's like really fighting so hard to win this battle, is because he's still fighting to get to the top.
That's all the Nihil are. I feel like it's just a bunch of people scrambling to have any semblance of power, when we know at the end of the day that Markion has no intention of anyone else having power.
This character that Drigget brings in, I was like, who are you? But it's someone named Val Devardis, who the Devardis is one of the 5 ruling families on, where are we in the world? Iriadu. So he comes and tells the warden that they're not doing very well against the Tarkin's navy, and that the Nile are being pushed back. This pisses the warden off, and immediately orders everyone to bomb Refrang City. This is his favorite thing to do. But both Drigget and Val Devardis are like, no, you can't do that to Refrang. Like, 1, you'll piss people off. Also, 2, there's that superstition about a dragon, and things dying. I like the warden's just like, I don't care about superstition and the people. Like, this is so dumb. And the only reason why the warden ends up not going with that plan is because Val is so, like, what's the word? He believes in this so much that he refuses to participate in bombing Refrain City.
Yeah, which is a big deal because obviously he's in the only clan of the 5 that sided with the Nihil. So obviously he's already like put his support that way. And the fact that even then he's still like, no, I'm not supporting you on this. I mean, I'm here to support you in other ways, but I'm not doing this is a big indicator that this maybe is something we shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Down on the ground, Severin Tarkin asks for help getting to her command center. And this is when she offers Lula and Zine, our newlyweds, a place leading her honor guard. And so they're going to go with her. Yeah. And get her to the command center and then lead her honor guard, which I think is perfect.
It's so perfect. Meanwhile, Court and Farzala will lead the rest of the Jedi Republic individuals against the fight against the Nihil. I didn't realize that there were some Republic forces kind of like hiding in the hills outside of Refrang and Iriado City, so that's super cool.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as we know from the dispatches from the exclusion zone, is that the correct one? Yes.
Hard to keep up.
I know. Kyiv with the RDC forces are ready to come through the storm wall. They're planning their
they're like
attack.
right out there, right? Ready to go.
Yes, it's so cool.
Also, we got a Master Yaddle appearance.
Oh my God, yes.
I know. I had forgotten because, again, the Wedding Spectacular has been a minute on our minds that Master Yaddle was there. And I'm like, yeah, it's been a minute, girl.
She's the best.
She really is. We get an amazing panel I'll put up on the video of, you know, one part of this group. Because I'm under the assumption there's some people fighting in Briefrang. And then this group that Court and Farzala are leading are going to Iriadu City to fight. And we get this amazing picture of Jedi, politicians, pirates, like normal people crossing the bay to Iriadu City to fight, and it's such a beautiful image.
It's so good. This is the one where they're shouting for light and life, right?
Yes.
It's so amazing. Also, did you get the comment how Ram is not with everybody?
Yeah.
What? Where is he?
I don't know.
What's he doing? He was literally in the ship with Maz, headed back to Iriadu. Where did he go?
I know. I'm very curious where he's gonna pop up again, guys.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yes, we're back in Iriadu City with the Warden. Apparently, there is a small fleet of Republic fighters heading their way, but then an explosion goes off and everyone goes flying, Warden included. When the Warden comes to, he notices that there's this massive droid standing over him and like protecting him. Who is this guy? Apparently, the droid is named EX-10, a destroyer droid, and tells the Warden that he was sent personally from Marchion Ro to help him out.
Interesting.
I love that, like, Marchion Ro can't be bothered with Iriadu. He's like, I'm just going to send a droid.
Legitimately.
just one.
He was like, I don't want to come there because I don't care about this. I mean, we talked about this before. The Warden has no capabilities of not getting his feelings hurt and can't deal with it. And so he's just going to go ahead with the bombing of Iriadu City, even without additional support from the clan that's supposed to be helping him.
Yeah. Oh, and the Warden then tells the droid to go to Refrang City to wipe out the Jedi. So droid takes off. That's when we're with the Jedi across the bay, fighting the Nihil in the bay. There's chaos. Oh my God. This scene was another one that was just like, what
so
am I
much
looking
going on.
at? And that's when the EX-10, the destroyer droid, pops out of nowhere and starts blasting at Court. And did you notice that picture is 2 panels? They connect to one another.
I realized that, no.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
It's amazing. Anyways, unfortunately, Court goes down. But luckily, Farzala is able to quickly destroy the droid. Because I literally was like, did the droid get destroyed? It didn't seem like complete destruction, but I literally don't see this droid ever again. So maybe he's gone forever.
Markion did not even send that good of a droid.
No, he didn't.
He sent one made out of tissue paper. So
like an EX-10 makes me think it's an EX droid. He basically like found all these EX droids, like patched them together, and he's like, look, destroy your droid. Oh, goodness. But unfortunately, Court is very terribly injured. Yeah, and now Farzala has to be the one to lead the Jedi and everyone. And I really kind of like am saddened by this next statement that Farzala gives. And then he's like, oh, yes, I'll take this, but we have to have our entire gang, no one's dead, on the Starhopper one day going on adventures again. And I was just like,
why did you say that?
Well, yeah, why would you say that? And then also, like, what? It's just so unrealistic. And I really worry that just like one small thing will happen and it's not going to happen and he's just going to like spiral.
Yep. I hope not. I started spiraling. I was like, well, now that you said that, we're never going to get that, are we? I hope we get some happiness. I know we get a little bit of happiness at least because I've seen the cover of the finale, but I do agree it's a little unrealistic to think everyone's going to make it. We're all going to be together and everything's going to be great and fine. And it's okay to, I guess, have hope for things to be good, but it's a different level with him right now. I agree where it's like, ooh, he's not doing well and he's kind of using this like fantasy to get through.
Yeah. And I feel like he should not be in a place of leadership too if he's in this like really bad mental state and like he's definitely doing the Jedi thing that you're not supposed to do, which is like to hold on to things really. But yeah, someone takes Court away to safety, and the next few panels are basically Farzala leading the charge against the Nihil. And this is another one where I'm just like, Jedi really don't do well in warfare. They really struggle. They lose their connection to the Force. And it just also reminds me about Palpatine and how he kept the fighting with the Jedi to distract them and to kind of like confuse them, and like that's how they were able to not detect him additionally. It's just really interesting.
He's so smart, but I hate it.
I wonder if he was like reading back on these notes about past battles with Jedi. He's like, they don't like it when a bunch of people die.
I know he was listening to the podcast and he was like, oh, taking notes. All right. Well, that's going to take us to issue 15, The Jedi and the Warden Part 2, right?
We made it.
Yep. We made it.
This is also the Battle of Iriadu. Battle of Iriadu continues. Iriadu is a battleground. The Resistance forces have made landfall in the enemy stronghold of Iriadu City, but not without casualties. Jedi Knight Farzala Tarabal must lead his allies against the overwhelming Nihil army. Meanwhile, the vile Warden plots his victory from above. It is only a matter of time before he conquers the planet with his superior fighting force and his secret weapon, or so he believes. We are in Iriadu City with, again, Farzala's POV narration text box, and he is, again, struggling. He's talking about how the Nihil keep coming no matter what they do, how their forces are scattered. And not only that, he keeps having visions of destruction. I don't like that.
Before we talk about how sad all this is, can we talk about the Nihil creatures?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I love them.
Obsessed with them. They're non-sentient. They're called Bogorants. If I pronounce that right. Apparently, I love this. The stuff that Wikipedia decides is important to put in always cracks me up. Because under physical characteristics, it says produces slime when hungry.
I think, isn't that from High Republic Adventures Phase 1? where
I love that
they're
you remember
literally
that.
fighting, and there's slime is a part of it, and they talk about how like you have to watch out.
They do.
So I only remember that because I too read the Wikipedia page, and I was like, wait a minute,
that's
the
right.
slime is like, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's like toxic or like noxious slime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you remembered that. I cannot. But I love these things. They're really cool, and I want to see them in live action.
Oh yeah. They kind of remind me of Oliphaunts from Lord of the Rings, if you're familiar,
Yes.
but with
Yeah.
an insectoid face and really sharp teeth. Just like that.
Just like that.
The warden too. Oh my god, I can't stand his face. He's so ugly.
Ugh.
I was very disappointed that the warden had no species listed or tied to him. It's really not fair.
Well, you have an Art of the High Republic book now, right?
I don't think the warden is in there.
Oh, no. I
I
was really
know.
hoping that maybe some of that stuff that's not online would be put into some of these art of books, but bummer. One day we're going to find out what the warden is.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, under Brief Ring City, we see a group of Jedi, and they're trying to stabilize the reactor core that's under the city. So, this whole superstition of there being like a dragon underneath the surface is really just folklore that leads back to there actually being a reactor underneath the city that provides power for at least half the planet. I mean, it's a big reactor.
Big reactor tied to a volcano.
Yeah, we need to talk about the structural engineer or the city planner or whoever like put this together, because maybe don't do that. Well, now there's a battle happening, which is more destabilizing of everything around this reactor. So the Jedi are like, let's just try and hold this together before it blows up half the planet.
That's a great plan.
It's an excellent plan. I just don't know how sustainable this is, because there's like a small little like mini reactor that needs to be adjusted, I guess, and they can't seem to access it. And so I feel like right now they're just kind of holding it together, but they can't actually stabilize it until they get this part back into place. And I need to ask you, why can't they just use the Force?
I think they were trying, because weren't they using the Force to keep it together?
Yeah,
and
but like,
and the assistant, the Tarkin assistant, basically goes, "Oh, you guys it didn't work. It's now like sideways." So I feel like for whatever reason, like
is it because they can't visualize it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Just use the Force, guys.
I know, I agree. Just like visualize the Force doing the correct thing. That's it.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote in this next panel, on the surface, we have a scene that really is just meant to remind us about this character named Jacoby and who he is.
I forgot he existed, so you were right.
We literally see him, I want to say, in like the first 2 issues of the High Republic Phase 3, and then that was it.
I have no idea what this guy's purpose is, well, but he's like sketchy.
He's totally sketchy. And 5AG3 is like, here, have this cool dagger, stab people with it. And Jacoby is like, oh my god, you've never given me something. He's like, keep it together.
Jacoby Snell. His name is Snell. Oh, he worked for the cantina where they got married. Interesting. Jacoby. I don't remember like where Jacoby came into this at all, but I guess he works for the cantina.
Okay. Well, great.
Cool. And he's inserted himself into this very important place, I guess.
I guess so. I really don't remember him. Anyways, Jacoby is there.
I like that he doesn't know what he's doing either, because he's just like, can I help somehow? Anybody? Can you tell me what's going on so I can like help out? Like, is he just floating around trying to find something to do? I don't.
Which is perfect, because we jump over to the warden, who's like, oh my god, I've got a message from codename Inner Circle, and he's like, Don't say that name out loud. And we walk over, and the warden is answering this transmission by himself so that no one else can see who he's talking to. And it's Jacoby. The best spies are always the ones you forget about.
Yeah.
You know, one that are always there, just kind of like lingering, wandering around, hearing all of the gossip. But people are like, wait, who's Jacoby?
That's the thing, is he's not even a good spy, because he tried to figure out what the Jedi were up to under the city and nobody would tell him because everyone is like, who are you?
It's true. I know. The droid was just like, stab things, go away.
Yeah, stab things, we're not telling you anything. Mm-hmm. It is a little sad. We see that the warden has Jacoby's like grandma tied up under threat of death, which is not nice.
It's not nice, but Jacoby's grandma could care less. She's like, kill me now. I've lived a long life. I just want to die smiling and not be disappointed by your ugly face, Jacoby.
She is the greatest. She's just like, for the rebellion, kill me.
I love her. She's so good. I like this next panel where we have Farzala and Sav working together, and they come up with a super cool plan to hop onto the Bogaranths to take out the Nihil. Now they have control of these crazy monster things and also the cannons that are on there. So I like this the panel where Sav is like controlling the Bogaranth and Farzala is the one that's using the cannon. They work really well together.
They do. I love it. All right, we go back to under Bree Frang. Mm-hmm. And this is when I really needed to do a refresh on this character.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't.
Zint is a youngling. Yeah.
Which is a youngling. Yeah. And I can't remember the species name. Maybe, I don't know if you remember it or not.
Aloxian?
Thank you. Mm-hmm. They wear a mask when they're younger, and it's necessary until they're fully mature because it helps stabilize their emotions, I guess, until they're able to do that on their own. So she's got a mask on, but tries to take it off, which makes Court, who is like there in a medical bed, supposed to not be moving and like doing things. Court is like, oh my gosh, no, what are you doing? And the reason she's taking off the mask is because she's heard this whole thing about there's this little reactor we can't seem to reach. And she's like, okay, well, I can reach it because I'm tiny. Right?
Yeah. And I think her thought process is that also when she takes off the mask, she becomes like the mask not only dampens emotions, but also dampens her strength. So I think she was thinking that she could become stronger. It's kind of cute. She like takes off her mask and she kind of like runs with her eyes closed over to where she needs to go. Like maybe that will stop her emotions from coming out.
Oh.
Yeah. And I like that Yaddle's like, well, she's already in there. It's too late. So let's just get this done and kind of like handle what happens next later. But it's really great that Yaddle and the other Jedi use the Force to help Zint out, and it works. Hooray. Zint leaps out of the reactor core and immediately goes insane. Her face is like red and like her eyes are like that.
Immediate emotional distress.
Mm-hmm. But luckily, Court was ready for this. And he tackles her and manages to put the helmet back on. And she's feeling much better. But Court does, unfortunately, lose consciousness because that was a lot of effort on his part.
Because you were supposed to stay in your bed.
Mm-hmm. But Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Which, speaking of, the reactor is stabilized, but I guess they need more help locking it into place. And I'm like, okay, so whoever built this made it as complicated as possible and didn't do a very good job if they have to keep doing all this stuff to keep it together.
To me, it seems like they don't have RAM and they can't truly fix it. So they're just kind of like fake fixing it. And they're just kind of like, well, if we put this together and kind of like put this makeshift part in here, it'll kind of like hold it together and like, I don't know.
Until we figure out where RAM is.
Yeah. they need more people. Back with Farzala and Sav, they are successfully keeping the Nile fighters from Briefing City. But suddenly they spot the crazy eviscerators, which are those drill ships from back in phase 2. And they're like, oh my God, oh no, we can't do anything about this. But then one of the drill ships turns and begins drilling another drill ship, and that drill ship is gone. It's toast. Like, everyone's like, who's that Pokemon? And it's Jedi Master Sunube.
Of course it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so good.
Well, if you thought that this issue was going to end on like a high note, it's not. I feel like, unfortunately, as so happens in Star Wars sometimes, just as things seem to be getting better and maybe they're getting control of stuff, Jacoby calls the Warden with information that the Warden has been looking for. And we don't get to find out what that information is.
We don't. We just get another creepy Warden smile.
Yes, which cannot possibly be good, right?
No. And originally I thought Jacoby just had information about how the Jedi need more people to help with the reactor, but this seems like not
Something
it at
else.
all. Especially because the info scroll literally says a secret weapon, but they don't ever mention the secret weapon again, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what the secret weapon is. Hopefully the Nameless aren't coming. I don't know.
Yeah, because we go back to Farzala and the Jedi that are fighting the Nile, still going and fighting. And we're back with Farzala's POV narration box, and he's thinking about how everything is falling apart and how that one dream of having everyone back on the Star Hopper again is the only thing that keeps him going. I'm just like, hey,
No, don't do that.
Stop, really. But the more he fights, the further that dream seems from becoming an actuality, while this other vision of destruction is coming closer and closer. This last panel is so intense, where we see Farzala and the smoke from all of the destruction is obscuring some figure. Yeah. And Farzala is asking, who's there? That's the end of that issue.
Okay, in fairness, you guys can't be mad at us for the cliffhanger, because it's a cliffhanger for us too.
It is.
Like,
I have no
we
idea
don't read ahead. We read this right before we record so that we don't know information before we need to know it, and we're just as surprised as you. So we have to suffer with this cliffhanger as well. Because that's the end of that issue, and that's where we're gonna stop for today. But obviously, for our next episode, we're going to continue on with this and wrap up the rest of Adventures, which goes to issue 20. So we will bring you the rest of the story very soon.
Yay!
But yeah, I loved it. It was a very good, very intense set of issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so intense. I like to see what happened with Valo and how the last we saw was Gavi being left there, and I guess we got the spoiler of Gavi coming to Iriadu in the Wedding Spectacular. So kind of like seeing what happened in between then and now. It was very good. Yeah.
I'm very nervous, but very excited about what's coming up next for these characters. We'll see. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling it's only going to get more intense before it gets better, because we're nearing the end of this era, and that's how it goes. So, yeah. Before we go, one segment I really wanted to put into the podcast is one highlighting Star Wars like creators of merchandise and art. So it's just something where every episode before we go, I just want to mention a creator that maybe isn't in the podcasting space, but who operate like shops or make art that are Star Wars related. So quick shout out for this week. I think I was going to go with Your Weird Ant Shop, which some of you might be familiar with. You can find her on socials at Your Weird Ant Shop, or look up her Etsy shop. And she makes the most wonderful nerd-based merchandise. It's very heavy on Star Wars, but she does Marvel and other like fandom products as well. And it's everything from like shirts, hats, keychains, earrings, stickers, all that stuff. And the thing I love about her is she makes things that are very unique that you won't find anywhere else. And I have her daughter's Ferrix earrings from Andor, and I love them.
Cute.
And I swear I wanted to be wearing them for this, but I don't have access to them right now, so I couldn't wear them. And I was like, oh, such a fail.
No.
But just know I have them and I love them. So please go support small businesses when you're looking for your nerdy needs. But otherwise, did you have anything else you want to talk about before we sign off?
Nope.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your support. We hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts or on our YouTube channel, The Sacred Text, a Star Wars podcast.
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or Threads, The Sacred Text Podcast, or send us an email at thesacredtextpod@gmail.com.
And finally, if you would like to financially support the podcast, head over to buymeacoffee.com. You can either look up The Sacred Text Pod or it's / The Sacred Text Pod from buymeacoffee.com to donate today.
We'll see you for our next episode.
May the Force be with you.